What's up, world? You are welcome to NEZtelly. Thank you so much for coming by. Today we're going to be talking about The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. This book it's been controversial. It's been made into a lot of movie series though, so it's actually a big deal. The book was written in 2006, and this book is something I feel like a lot of us have at least one thing to learn from it. So please sit down, grab your friend, grab your popcorn, and hey, let's talk. So if this is your first time, it's me, Nez. Welcome to NEZtelly. Thank you so much for coming by again. Here in NEZtelly, we sit down to discuss books 2 times every week. Every Monday and Friday, there is a new book that we discuss, and the general idea is for you to just decide whether it's a book that you should read or not. So, thank you so much for coming. Welcome. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so that you can get notification every time a new book shows up, which is Monday and Friday. Now, of course, subscribers, you guys are my G's. You guys are my wonderful people out here trying to make your lives better by reading and listening more about books. So thank you so much for coming by. I love you guys. So you guys, today, this book, if I show you my notepad where I was writing when I was reading this book, you guys will just think I'm crazy. But I'm not going to show you because really, that's not what this is about. So The Secret by Rhonda Byrne is a bit of a mystery around The Secret. But first of all, let me start by talking about the general overview of the book. The general overview of the book is like understanding that the secret period is, first of all, understanding that the world, the universe is created by thoughts. Do you understand? Before something becomes what it is, someone sits down and thinks about it and then brings it to being. But the thing is that a lot of times, a lot of us live our life believing that people create our lives for us. We blame other people. Some people blame our parents. Some people blame our lives, our situation, our environment. You are responsible for your life. So the power of thoughts is basically what creates your life to change from what it is now to what you might want it to be. Another example that was used was looking at your life as a blackboard, a blank blackboard. Actually, your blackboard can never really be blank, especially if it's your life. Most times you've already filled your blackboard with a lot of negativity. This is what my country is doing. This is what my life is doing. This is how my job is doing. So it's a lot of negativity that is up there. So the idea is for you to clean that blackboard, right, and put positive things there. Now, of course, it sounds pretty much like what a lot of us may have heard or have not heard before, or a lot of people like motivation, inspire to aspire and perspire. Calm down, just stay with me for a minute, okay? This is actually very specific. Now, I dare to say that because this book, even though this law of attraction, which is actually the real secret, has been known throughout ages, I feel like this book, written in 2006, was the first book to actually talk about it the way that it did, because it really did explode into the scene. Now, if you've read a lot of books around self-help and all that, you realize that people are picking out some small parts of what this book is, and they're turning it into a whole other genre and talking about it. So I'm talking of the likes of meditation, having faith, speaking things into being, believing them, feeling them, knowing them, all those things. Like I think I've read a few books that have said something like this, but this book was written in 2006. So that makes me think that this book came out before then. So it's possible, I could be wrong, but it's possible that this book was basically a book that became a thing, and it made several other people to start believing in the power of our thoughts. Okay, so I'm going to talk about you. You as a person, you're the architect of your life. Remember the blackboard? You are the architect of your life. The blackboard is your life. You decide what should stay up there, and you look at it and you will become them or not. So I'm going to talk about 3 things that you need to do, 3 things that you can do to change your life. Number 1, okay. Where do I start? Okay, so first of all, learn to love yourself. Loving yourself, I think in the end, is what adds value to yourself. So instead of even saying love yourself, I'll just say put value on yourself. Have value for yourself. Put a self-worth on yourself. Understand that you are, how do I put it? You are entitled to joy. You are entitled to peace. You are entitled to love. I talk about this, it's very important because it affects the kind of relationships that we allow in our lives, the kind of relationships that we invite, the kind of relationships that we end up being in. The thing is that a lot of us have believed that for us to be full, loving people, we have to sacrifice more. Now, sacrificing means that you have to give up more and more and more of yourself. That is not bad in itself, but if that is your only idea of a relationship, I'm sorry to tell you that it's very likely you're going to be a very sad person for most of your life, because it brings a lot of frustration. All of us know at least that one person that has done so much for someone, and the person just goes, after everything I did for her, or after everything I did for him. No one asks you to sacrifice, that's the fact. So how it works is that you love yourself It will affect the way people love you. It affects the way your significant other or even your children will treat you and love you. Love yourself. Give yourself the props that you deserve. Call yourself names. Tell yourself, see, you're a baby girl. That is me now. I'm a baby girl. Anyway, so basically, put a lot of value on yourself. You can do this by faith. There is a lot of hopelessness and faithlessness going on now, especially with this pandemic and all that. But understand something, that the possibility of hope or you surviving this in the best possible way has a lot more to do with your belief in yourself. So that's number one, your value. Number two is your health. Now, it is known that there's this thing that they call, I forgot what it was called. I forgot the name. But it's basically something that doctors do sometimes outside the country, where if you don't feel well, instead of them to give you, like, nothing is wrong with you per se. So instead of them to give you an actual medication, they give you what they call the sugar pill. Sugar pill just gives you energy. So they give it to you, even though somewhere in your mind you believe you have something major, like, I don't know, a lung problem. And they give it to you, and after a few months, after a few weeks, the person comes and says, oh, I'm actually feeling better based on that pill that you gave me. Thank you for this pill, it's wonderful. So here's the thing, was the person sick before? Now, it's you believing that you are healed based upon something that you see. Now, what you have to train yourself to do is to believe that you are healed based upon yourself. The power of the life of meditating, the power of the life of believing that the emotions that you exude concerning a particular thing is the truth, even though physically it might not be it. Understand that the universe is created basically from the power of thought. If you sit down and think and believe within yourself that something is going to be what you want it to be in your life, it's going to happen. And she went on to talk about things like money, where she said that the assumption that has killed a lot of people is that it's the money that you make that would make it possible for you to create something. Like, let me give an example. Now, you have a project in your mind. The project will cost 5 million naira, but you make 100,000 naira a month. So what your natural self would likely do is to believe that you're not going to be able to do this project because you have 100,000 naira to a month. Like, seriously, where are you going to get 5 million naira from? So you end up going on and living and thinking, it's for people that have money now. A lot of us are there. It's people that have money. It's not all of us. It's not for everybody. Blah blah blah. Or you say, if somebody can give away, if someone can just give me 5 million, we both know that's not going to happen. But there's something about the power of belief. There's something about restructuring your mind. And she said, even the way that you declare upon yourself, like the common thing that us Christians will say is, I shall not die. I shall not die is a perfect example of a wrong statement to use when you're trying to affirm towards yourself about your life. Say, I am living blissfully. I am alive. That is a better thing to write on that blackboard instead of writing, I shall not die. I cannot be broke. Don't write, I cannot be broke. Write, I am rich. I am wealthy. I am a giver of wealth. I'm a creator of wealth. Do you understand? In the end, it's like, the book is, honestly, I really think you should read this book. Let me just say it now. Straight up, read the book. But that aside, this book, I think that, she talked about how you should just understand that the way you structure your words, even when you affirm to yourself, it is what affects what will actually come out as an output in your life. So that's number 2. Number 3, what should I use as number 3? Gratitude. Okay, I'm going to use gratitude because I think at this point it starts sounding crazy. Imagine if you believe that you've already gotten something that you've not gotten. And you not only believe that you've gotten it, you start thanking God for it. You start saying thank you to the universe. They use the word the universe a lot. I'm starting to wonder if it is this book that came up with that universe thing, because a lot of times I say, why are people comparing God to the universe? I'm speaking it out to the universe. I'm like, everyone should calm down, big. But that's me, personal to me, of course. She says, if you begin to say thank you if you believe that, like for me, I really wish I read this book earlier because I had a heart failure while giving birth to my daughter. All the 4 years or so where I was going through taking medication and suffering the suffering that was involved. If I read this book, Lord knows I would have felt way better earlier, because I was too, I know emotionally my mind was too inside the matter. Enough about me. Back to the book. But basically, if you can believe that you are healed, if you can believe that you have that money, if you can believe that thing that you're facing as a challenge right now has been taken care of, so you're okay. Do you understand? And you say thank you. You say thank you. Now, when she talks about the importance of thoughts creating things, it's not just the thoughts. In short, the speech is where all of us start from. Yes, the speech is the beginning. The main work comes from the feeling. The main work comes from the believing. The main work comes from when you get to a point that even though it is not there physically, you know that it is there. Do you understand? Back to the blackboard. Do you understand? I have this job in this place. I am a somebody of a somebody in this place. My health is at this, at that. Even my weight is at this, at that. I have how many children? All healthy children. I have a wonderful man that treats me this way, blah, blah, blah. And I am a person of value. Oh, the last one I wanted to talk about was charity. I have to bring that in. I'll talk about it. Do you understand? But imagine believing that about yourself. Something that you know, and you know that this is what you are. Do you understand? So that you're able to pull that off on yourself before it actually happens. Before you can that, you give it a little bit of time, and that's it. It's going to come to pass. Charity was the last one. She said that the major fault with being stingy, holding back money, is that it gives you the impression that you don't have enough. Now, believing that you don't have enough is very contradictory to the idea of creating a universe for yourself or creating a life for yourself where you have enough. So when you say you don't have enough by not giving, do you understand? You say, I have only 5,000. 5,000 is even small. I have only 50,000. I cannot give somebody 1,000. No, I beg you. The one I have is not even enough. That's it. It's not going to be enough. It's a law of attraction. It's like, of course, some actual scientists actually spoke at the end of the book talking about how if you read some old sciences, they will tell you how the law of attraction actually works. I am so sorry. The actual thought that if I give, the one I have will finish, already sells the idea to you that you have nothing. So if you believe that you have, you give. The more you give, the more will come to you. I think a lot of us already know this. Now I'm going to end this thing I'm talking about by using the famous words by Henry Ford. I mean, you all know who Henry Ford is, right? Okay. And it says, if you believe you can and you believe you can't, you are right. So thank you so much for watching, guys. This book is wonderful. It's an old book. It is very, very popular. Honestly, every bookshop you go to, if they don't have it, oh my vehicle. I'm so sorry. Okay, so guys, I'm back with my cup of water. Okay, so yeah, so back to what I'm saying. Thank you so much for watching. This book is it's awesome, right? I think that there's going to be at least one thing that you can learn from the book. But here's what I personally, I would just say that if you don't go with anything, go with this. You are an architect of your life. You are not a victim. You are not a throwaway. You're not a castaway. You are actually more involved as to what your life is than you might be willing to believe. 99% of your body, of who you are, is not touchable. Do you understand? It doesn't have to do with the physical. It has more to do with the supernatural. It has more to do with the spiritual. So if you can understand that and you believe that and you work accordingly, it is very, very easy for you to change your life from what it is now to what you would like it to be. Thank you so much for watching.